Hey, Don McDowell, I'm here with Tyson again. We're talking about the symbiotic relationship between the hunting and outdoor recreation community, the livestock and farming community, working in conjunction with Arizona Game and Fish. Tyson, what do we got going on here in this ditch? I see a little bit of digging in the dirt up there, and what are you up to right here?
Right now we're doing our winter maintenance. Every year we dig this down about 4 feet and silt it in, but all the tailwater on the farm ends up right here in this ditch, and we call it our pond, and that's where the feral horses, the Javelina.
Whoa, back up, feral horses.
What? BLM has some horses out here.
You think?
Yeah, there's like 44 of them. They've been classified feral. We're trying to catch them. I can show you my horse trap here in a little bit.
Okay.
But this right here it's right next to our dove plot, which we have with Game and Fish.
Yeah.
Game and Fish has been generous enough to work with us side by side, and it's the sorghum field we planted back in May. We should have harvested in October, but we left it out here for the second hunt. But they've came through with a pretty nice monetary reason to leave it here.
Absolutely.
And then I've gone through and cut what you see laying here on the ground is access for hunters. So there's 3 borders left, and then we cut a border 3. So we opened up 30% of it so you can get in and out and harvest some dove. And we've had quite a few folks. And
okay, so we've got migratory doves coming in here.
Javelina.
Deer, Javelina.
Yes, and horses.
You got mule deer, whitetail, both?
Mule deer.
Mule deer, primarily.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And then all the other little critters that come out here in the desert.
All God's little creatures, man. It's all good.
But there's also a hunt going on right now with the Javelina.
Yeah.
Deprivation hunt. I'm real excited about that. Actually, we had 2 taken this morning.
Tag in my pocket.
That's around the corner.
Okay.
We'll go over there next.
Okay, we gotta go. Okay, that's really a lot of effort being put into the habitat down here and stuff.
But we're grateful to the Game and Fish because they wanted to participate with us. It's a win-win for both of us.
You know, they're doing a great job. And the bad part about it, Tyson, is the general public doesn't understand a lot of the stuff that we're doing. In fact, I'm going to go out on a limb. The average guy, Joe the plumber, doesn't understand where conservation comes from. They think you just pick conservation off the tree. If it wasn't for the hunters and the anglers, guess what? We wouldn't have any conservation money, and they wouldn't be down here talking to you.
Well, how this all started was 15 years ago, and I'll take you over there if you want to see it. Did I talk to you about the Burrowing Owls? With all the freeways that are built in Maricopa County,
yeah.
If any burrowing owls we have myself and then Gary John, we have habitat we built to relocate burrowing owls over here on the far side of the farm, where they bring them down, we put a tent over the holes, and then we relocate them here, and it's been a fun project.
Wow.
But that started.
Hey, get out of that truck.
Which has led to a couple other ones, but it's kind of fun, and it breaks the monotony of every day. Hey, guess what we're gonna do today? We're gonna grow cotton. We're gonna bale hay. It's kind of fun to have a little diversity on our daily activities out here. So these burrowing owls have done a wonderful job, because right here, this is the Gila River. We butt up next to it, and we have a problem with gophers washing things out. And when Wild at Heart wanted to find a place to relocate some owls, I jumped on it. So we dug a hole 8 foot by 12 foot, put 4 or 5 gallon buckets in the bottom, drilled some holes in it, put a type tube on the way out, buried it back, put some rock, and anywhere where there's a stake, there's been, and now they're not active right now because they come out at dusk, but you come down here at dusk, there's 2 or 3 that might pop up, see what you're doing. But
interesting.
But it's just something that, again, it was a project, it's a conservation project. We're not out here trying to spray and kill every bug and kill everybody. We're not farmers sometimes get a bad rap because everyone thinks we're just spraying and ruining the environment. No, we let it work with it, because if we ruin it, you're done.
Yeah, everybody's done.
So trying to find the balance between the wildlife, trying to find a home for everything. But this has been a huge asset because they take care of the gopher problem.
They will.
So I'm not having to poison them. I'm not having to trap them. These owls do a wonderful job taking care of my gopher problem. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
So.
And this is a viable breeding population of adults?
I guess I'm not. That would be a question for the big gentleman with Wild at Heart. But what they do is they link up. Each hole is a male and female. So imagine a big tent over these 4 holes right here.
Right.
And so for 30 days, my son had the job, and they bring us frozen mice. We de-thaw them, And so every other day we get this box of frozen mice from FedEx, and so we put 50 of them on a piece of wood. We'd slide underneath the tent, and they would fly down, come down, grab them. You know the terminology rat holing?
Yeah.
Well, if they rat hole enough of their little rats, they won't leave. Because
makes sense.
And so they're taking, so for a month we're feeding them 10, 15 extra mice than what they need, and they're putting them down there in a bucket. So when we take down the tent, they're not leaving because they have so much food stored down in there. So that's where the term rat hole comes from.
There you go.
Burrowing owls.
I'll be darned.
Things you learn at Poco Bueno.
Yeah. Had no idea.
I didn't know that till Wild at Heart told me that. But it's it was a project that my son started, and my daughter, it's part of their FFA project.
Yeah.
So they get credit for it because I don't deal with it. It's their problem.
Yeah. Cool.
Not that there's a lot to do, but when we do relocate them, you have to come out here, make sure.
Yeah,
they have
but
water.
everybody's a beneficiary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So right here, this is our feral horse trap. We're trying to work with BLM to get rid of the horses, and yes, they're just horse panels, but we had to add the extra section, and we had to put all the telephone poles here because when you get the feral horses in there, they are not very cooperative.
Nope.
But we have
Not
a pin.
happy.
We have a pin within a pin. We put a mare in there that's in heat, and then we have a spring on this gate, and it rolls in if they come in. And
You gotta love male mentality. I'm telling you.
It's pretty simple. It's pretty simple.
It's either sex or money. This time it's sex.
Pretty much. And January and February, it's cooler. We can also have the cowboys down here because it's not beating up the horses. And the other nice thing is, with the National Finals Rodeos being in Vegas, Wickenburg is now the cowboy capital of the world. Yep. And there's a few gentlemen that come down and help, and they just can't wait to come down and try to. So it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
And BLM was nice enough to class them as feral. By doing that, that's my problem.
Yeah. They don't want to deal with it.
And so if we get them caught and captured, no one claims them, we can put our brand on them and we can sell them.
There you go. What about burros, donkeys?
We don't have. Well, I take that back. I think in the group there might be a couple mules.
There's your
Trespassers.
dust maker.
Yep. Unfortunately, they just run all over the place like they own the. But
Yeah, they do.
And they're smart enough to think that we're not going to go that way. At one time I had a moat that I dug.
Nice.
But I technically dug it on BLM property. They asked if I'd fill it in. So
Awfully fussy, aren't they?
there are rules. We all have to abide by them. Sometimes I'd like to change them if I could.
Yeah.
But that's for
You
conversation.
can. There's this place in Washington, D.C. It's called the House of Representatives.
Yes, sir.
They have a chair there for you.
Someday.
We'll be back.
Barrel number 7. There's a windmill here. The plan is to put the solar and all this on the inside of the trapment, and then pump goes in the hole.
Okay, originally, where's the windmill that fed this?
It's laying there. It's all bent up behind the tree.
Boom, done, over.
There was a big storm, I guess, or something. I've been here since '94, and that's how I've always seen that windmill.
Okay, this is part of our $2.6 million Habitat Partnership Committee grading matrix that the Arizona Deer Association did on December the 6th. Jim Lawrence, our project head, came down with Tyson and looked at a number of drinkers. This is one of them that we propose to rehab. So we're going to put in a new pump, solar, and get this guy go. Are we going to do any rehab here on this concrete apron?
I don't think we're going to do a rehab. We're going to stick some tanks up here, I believe.
Okay.
But that's his call. I'm game for whatever.
Okay.
He's in charge, so whatever he'd like to do is what we're going to do.
Okay. Well, he does a good job. By the way, this graded 63, so there's a real good probability that this is going to push through. So, how many of these drinkers do you have on your
7?
7?
Wow. I'm going to show you 3 of them. The next one, this one and the next one we're going to were their favorites. They want to do first because one, the structure where we're going, and this one's up next to the wilderness area, and there's a lot of deer. And I don't know if you saw all the trails and whatnot as you're coming in.
Yeah, I've been watching.
May 26, 1946. I guarantee you they didn't have a backhoe up here. I guarantee you this was all done by shovels.
Yep.
And we don't know what work is.
No.
We really don't.
No, this is all this is all hand done.
But what's kind of fun is after a big rain, this does fill up. Major overkill. Man. So I think they were literally going to farm out here between this valley, and because if you run the math, this would be about 2,200 gallons a minute.
Wow.
Yeah. So, this is it's still free. It's not but it has the old pony motor, which I love.
Yeah.
It'll always start out in the middle of nowhere because it has a gasoline engine.
Right.
That'll actually start it and kick in the compression and
There you go.
there you go. But there's some old technology that we've forgotten about. There's no batteries. You don't need batteries. So, wow. But didn't even know this was here.
Unbelievable.
But
What year is this motor? Do you have any idea?
early 50s.
Yeah.
Early 50s. It probably wouldn't be too hard to make operational again either.
Damn things will run forever. Okay, so what do you call this one?
Poco Dinero number one.
Number one.
Number one. 800-foot well, 20-inch casing. This is a 25 by 25, 6-foot concrete drinker with an apron all the way around it.
Wow.
Again, somebody spent a lot of time and effort to build this.
Yes, they did.
So Jim talked about, and also Travis, about possibly putting a shade over it,
Yes.
because two things: evaporation, and also the habitat that creates for the birds and the fowls.
Exactly.
So I hope we do the other one first, but either one of them, I don't care. I think this will be the biggest benefit.
Strategically, this probably would serve the greater. That one overall, how close to the wildlife wilderness area is that one?
The one it was on the border.
Yeah.
It was on the border of it.
Right
it was
there.
adjacent.
Okay.
This one's probably a mile-ish as a crow. Half a mile. So,
Okay.
but still, we're just
So
excited.
where, in your opinion, are these feral horses drinking?
My fields.
Okay.
Every night. You saw the manure at the.
Oh, yeah.
They come in every night.
Yeah. So yeah.
As soon as we start equipment up, they head out in the desert. But they need to go away.
How many gallons do you think this is?
It's a little over 18,000.
Man.
So I'm figuring they probably figured for 15 because it's probably never going to be full all the way to the top. But still, it's a wonderful source.
I've got your project profile. I'll go back and look at this one and see what the shade and what have you is.
Okay.
Yeah, this would just be awesome. So,
But as long as we're not doing it in June.
boy, it'd be a killer out here in June.
I mean, we'd get it done, but it's unfortunate June is just not.
I don't like working at night. You'd
I'd
be
bring-
out here at night with
We'd be out here with lights. So,
snakes.
well, as soon as we have water here, you'd be amazed at what's going to show up here. It's going to change this. Well, just look at the little water from the rain the other night.
Yeah.
So,
We were down on one of them in 36, and actually have pictures of a rattlesnake coming in to get a drink of water. Unbelievable. I mean, that's okay. Tyson, thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
so much.
hospitality and showing us the Poco Dinero. I got it right this time. I don't know where Poco Bueno came from, but anyway, we've had a really good day looking at the HPC work that we're going to put down here in Unit 39. We've looked at Sentinel, we've looked at the school, we've looked at the community, we've looked at the illegal invasion problem down here, and God love you for doing what you're doing. And I'll tell you, you got my vote in 2024 for Congress, man.
thank you. Thanks for taking the time and not forgetting about us out here in the middle of nowhere.
You know, this is going to be, where's my new office going to be, by the way?
You'll be right behind me.
Right there?
Right behind me.
Okay, hey, I'm Don McDowell. Visit us at huntingfishing.com. Take your kids fishing, hug your bass boat, and we're out of here, man.